Okay, what's up YouTube? So today I'm fixing my diet. Yeah, so basically I'm going to focus on lunch and dinner. Breakfast is going to be the same as from the last video. It's just literally a protein shake and 2 pieces of fruit. So I'm not really going to document that. So for 5 days, I'm going to show you what I'm having for lunch and what I'm having for dinner. And yeah, the aim of this is hopefully to sort of help with like body recomposition in terms of like getting leaner. I'll show you like somewhere here like a visual of what sort of a diet plan is, what I'm aiming to achieve. I sort of planned it out, so I'm aiming for a calorie deficit, so I want to be around like 2k calories, 2.1k calories. So for lunch today, I have some tofu rice. I don't know if you can see that. I didn't actually make it myself. It is leftovers from yesterday, but what can I do? You know, waste it. You know, it's not actually part of my diet plan, but it fits into the macros. So that's what I'm having for lunch today, and then I'll see you back for dinner. Okay, so I've just done my prep for dinner now. I'm basically making like this lentil pasta. So I got a recipe from Soap's Plant Kitchen. She makes like amazing vegan recipes. She's like high in protein, so there'll probably be like a few recipes from her, but I'm going to show you how to make it now. Okay, so we've got some olive oil in the pan. I'm going to start off by frying some onions up. Just pour your onions in. Okay, so now along with the onions, you want to put in your mushrooms. We've got a healthy amount here. This is a very mushroomy recipe, but don't worry if you don't like mushrooms. It shouldn't taste a lot like mushrooms basically. Okay, so you're going to wait for 10 minutes and then you're going to add in your garlic now, as well as some tomatoes. So technically you're supposed to use sun-dried tomatoes. We didn't have them, so I just roasted some tomatoes, but you want to use 7 large sun-dried tomatoes, ideally. But also for a bit of flavour, just add a pinch of paprika, about a teaspoon. That should be good. Okay, so now you want to add your can of tinned tomatoes, just like so. I've got myself. Okay, so now it's time for the star ingredient. It's these poi lentils. You want to add in around like 500 grams. The reason it's a star ingredient is because this is where most of the protein is coming from. And finally for the sauce, you just want to add this final ingredient, these walnuts. What I've done is I've soaked them in boiling water for like 10 minutes, so a little bit softer, less starchy, and yeah, just break them into the sauce. Okay, and last but not least, you're going to add in the pasta. You want to leave a little bit of water, a little bit of that salty water just for some extra flavour, and then you just mix it in, and that's it, that's the recipe. Okay, so it's day 2. For lunch I'm having, same as dinner, it's just pasta again. Oh, here comes my dog. Say hi, Kaya. Say hello. Okay, and forgot what I was saying. See, even he wants some of my lentil pasta. It was quite good. A big thing with like this whole challenge and like going forward is that I need to sort of batch prepare. It's a little more manageable if I obviously if I cook once a day compared to twice a day. It just means I can, you know, keep it up a lot more, because once like you feel a lot more friction basically when like you have a lot more steps, when it's complicated dishes, and that sort of like takes away from your motivation. So if we can keep it simple, it will keep it easier to stick to this diet. So yeah, don't have to worry about lunch. I got it sorted from last night, and then I'll show you what I make for dinner. Okay, so for dinner today we're making nasi noodle salad. So we're going to start off by making the sauce, and to do that you want to add 3 tablespoons of warm water. You also want to add 1 tablespoon of sesame oil, one and a half tablespoons of tamari or soy sauce, depending on your preference. That's a bit more than 1.5, but that'll do. 2 garlic cloves, or I've gone for 3. I like my sauce a little bit garlicky. Just like so. 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar or mirin, again depending on your preference or your availability. That's fine. And then very importantly, 3 tablespoons of peanut butter, nice and heaped, and then we blend all together. And then, if I can show you, this is what the sauce should look like. A little bit like this. Okay, so now we've got to cook the noodles. I'm gonna add in around like 200 grams. Just gonna eyeball it. Oh god, okay, that's quite a lot. Oh god. Yeah, you know what, that's 200 grams. And you want to add in a little bit of sesame oil as well, just so that we don't stick together. That should be good. And yeah, we'll just let that cook for a while until it comes to a boil. And then after that, we'll let it simmer for like 6 minutes or so. Okay, so while we got the noodles going, we're gonna start with the tofu. So as usual, a bit of sesame oil. Let it fry a little bit. Spread it around. And then we'll add in the tofu here. Okay, so you want to be more patient than me and actually wait for oil to heat up. But yeah, so with this recipe, compared to other recipes, I won't do too much of the tofu. I'm just going to add in a little bit of soy sauce or tamari and just leave it at that. And then we'll get with the broccoli and combine everything together. Okay, so the tofu is now done. It's now nice and seasoned. Noodles have cooked as well, as you can see that. So now we just got to finish our broccoli. So let me quickly replace the tofu and then we'll start braising the broccoli. Okay, we're moving on to a broccoli now. Just going to add in some sesame oil. We're using the same pan just to lock in the flavours. And let's add this broccoli. I've gone with tender stem, but if you're going to use normal broccoli, just make sure to cut the heads and leave out the stem. But yeah, we're just going to braise this and then we're going to add it to the recipe. Listen to that crackle. Okay, so here's a completed dish. Actually looks really good. Tofu is really simple, packed with protein. Noodles, like the soba noodles, are packed with protein. Obviously anti-inflammatory with a garlic, vegetables with a broccoli. It's a nice complete meal. And yeah, it looks nice. Can't wait to dig in. Okay, so it's day 3 now, and things have been going pretty well so far. I feel like more in control of my diet because I'm making the meals myself. I feel like more self-sufficient. Diet has been something I've really struggled with, and just keeping to something, sticking to something. And I feel like the fact that I'm making these meals myself, and it's apart from like setting everything up, that kind of extends like the time it takes, but it's just something I know I can follow essentially. And especially with batch preparing, if I make sure to like, you know, make meals, like plan out meals for ahead, then that makes it even easier. And yeah, it gives me hope that this is something I can genuinely stick to. Encouraging signs. But with that being said, I'm going to prepare lunch now. So I'm making it's sort of like tempeh salad, and yeah, I'll show you how I make it as usual. Okay, first things first, we're going to add the tempeh into a pan. Got some sesame oil like cooking up, and let's pour this bad boy in. And let that fry until it's golden brown. Okay, so the tempeh is finally finished cooking. We've got the salad right there, which we need to toss. But before we do that, we need to make the sauce in this bowl here. Okay, so I've plated it in a bowl, got the salad at the bottom, sprinkled the tempeh on top, and finished with a bit of peanuts, just for some extra protein. It's nice and colourful, packed with protein as usual. Tempeh actually has over 20 grams of protein per 100 grams, so very protein dense. And yeah, let's see how this tastes. Okay, dinner time, and we're making some dal, or sort of like a lentil stew. So we're going to start off with actually putting some oil in the pan. I've chosen olive oil. I think you can probably just use whatever, to be honest. Okay, so with the pan heating up, we're going to add our cumin seeds. 1 teaspoon. Okay, and we're also going to add in the chili along with the cumin seeds. Okay, next to add more fragrance, we're going to add in garlic and ginger as well. And let that all sizzle on the pan. Okay, so once the garlic and ginger start to brown up, that's when we add in our onion. So add in these onions. I wish you could smell the aroma coming through the screen, it smells so nice. Okay, so now we're going to add in our trio of powders. Let's start with some red chili powder, about half a teaspoon. And then 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder, or haldi. And finally some coriander powder. And now we add the tomatoes. Okay, so the last masala is garam masala. I'm just going to eyeball it. Okay, that's a fair amount. Okay, once we've sauteed that a bit, we're going to add in the lentils finally. Okay, so initially you want to add the lentils in without any excess water, just so it can mingle with the other flavours, and then we'll add in the water. For those wondering, 3 cups is about 700 millilitres. Okay, so we're going to add salt, and then put it on high heat, mix it up. And now close the lid. Okay, so this is the dal plated up. I've got sourdough bread in there as well, just to dip. And I've sort of garnished it with some coriander. Hi. Okay, it's day 5, it's the final day. I've got no commentary to add other than let's just get this day done, let's get this challenge done, and let's move on to lunch. Okay, so today we're making a sushi rice bowl with garlic tofu for lunch. So as per usual, let the pan heat up, and I'm going to add the oil in. So what I'd recommend is normally you want to actually coat the tofu with corn flour. It's just going to help it to really fry properly. Unfortunately I don't have any, but for anyone who wants to make it, definitely use corn flour, and it will just help it fry better. Okay, the pan's nice and hot now. I'm going to add in the tofu. Okay, so as you can see, the tofu is nice and crispy, it's a nice golden brown. We're now going to start with the marinade. Okay, so we're going to start off by putting oil, again as per usual. This time I'm going olive oil. If you have chili oil, do use that. I'm just going to add in some chili flakes, just for a little bit of spice. Okay, that's quite a lot actually. And then garlic and spring onion. And that'll be the base of the marinade. Okay, so for the marinade, we're going to start with 2 tablespoons of tamari or soy sauce. Okay, so we're going to add half a tablespoon of agave. A little bit of chili sauce. And finish with some rice vinegar, about half a tablespoon. I'm just going to mix it all up. So add in the sauce we made, so the garlic and spring onions. And finally we're going to add in our tofu and mix it together. Okay, so this is for meal. I made some sushi rice earlier, placed it up the tofu, added some sesame seeds for garnish, and a little bit of tomatoes as well, just for a bit of freshness, and yeah. Then we move on to the last meal of the challenge. Okay, we got our last meal here, some quesadillas, melted cheese, refried beans, tomatoes and onions. I've not actually counted the macros on this for calories because I just wanted to have one meal where I didn't have to worry about that. I think it's important to have that sense of balance. I mean, you can't always be the good guy, sometimes you have to be a bit of a bad boy.